Thank you very much for attending this amazing webinar. It's a series of webinars that we are so happy to host here at CBC Dubai and help coordinate. Obviously, our major coordinator, and I want to say all-time helper, is Al Hinton, who is with the Dubai FDI. So thank you so much. There are many people we have to thank today, but I'm going to make it very brief. We have an amazing team behind all of us, not to mention all of our sister councils that you may know about. We have CABC, we have CUBC, and we also have our Abu Dhabi CBC Council. The important thing that you must know here is that we work together as a team to make these things happen. But as there's so many guests that we have here today, so I'm going to make it very brief. Our very, very first guest and moderator is Dr. Andrew Patmos. I think many of you already know his history and his bio, but I'd like to say just a few brief words about him. He is the present CEO of the Royal College International. And in the past, since 2006, Dr. Padnos started the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada. He's an amazing, I want to say, in personality, because he has spent so many years, also a 15-year term, I believe, in Saudi Arabia. So who better than him to be able to know what we need in the region? In recent years, the Royal College has made a large commitment to international outreach in collaboration with schools, hospitals, associations, and agencies in the Arabian Gulf, China, Latin America, and Africa. Royal College International, RCI, a subsidiary of the Royal College itself, for which Dr. Padnos is president and chief executive, has developed both commercial, cost recovery, and international development, aid, and collaboration activities to share standards and processes by which the clients and partners will improve and strengthen their educational clinical care services. So thank you so much, Dr. Padmos. This is very important for us. The Royal College is also a founder member of the Canadian International Health Education Association, a trade association for Canadian healthcare sector organizations. So again, when I had the luck to read all about Dr. Padmos, there is so much information about him, but what I can tell you is his clinical experience spans over 40 years and includes intensive service in malignant hematology, development of hematology services, which he did bone marrow transplantation in Saudi Arabia. His outreach services in Ontario and Nova Scotia. He continues a small part-time clinical practice in hematology as part of the Dalhousie Faculty of Medicine and Division of Hematology. Dr. Padnos serves on the boards of Can Health Inc. and Interactive Health International Inc. in Vancouver, and IGAN Partners in Toronto, and the Governing Council for the University of Toronto. I actually would like to share a little quote that Dr. Padnos sums up for his career so far. I'm grateful for so many opportunities to contribute to the welfare of patients, great institutions, and the health professions by means of stimulations, planning, management, evaluation of significant challenges and rapid change of the benefit of people and populations. This is where I'd like to basically pass the mic to Dr. Padmos and thank him, because with the changes and the rapid changes and challenges we have been going with COVID-19, who better to be the moderator of this? Thank you so much. And thank you to all our members and friends.
Thank you, Diana. And I hope and trust my microphone is working satisfactorily and that you can all hear me. I want to thank you for a long and complimentary introduction, which is just one cog in a wheel of Canadian enterprise that's looking now to partner in Gulf countries, particularly in the United Arab Emirates, and especially in Dubai, where we have friends like you, Diana, Al Hinton, and many of our colleagues with whom we've collaborated across the full spectrum of health system opportunities. And I'm pleased to be with you today part of the new normal where we're meeting electronically. And probably that's very pertinent in Dubai because more than any other country that I know of, they've made a commitment to 21st century technology and process in order to modernize the country, to rapidly bring their citizens to a level of prosperity, health, and happiness that is really, really amazing and enjoyable to see. So to all of the 100+ people online with us today, which is morning in Canada, afternoon in Dubai, I want to say welcome, and we'll move into our program at this point because I'm going to ask His Excellency Ambassador Fahad bin Saeed Al Ragabani, the ambassador from the United Arab Emirates to Canada, to make his opening remarks. Ambassador Ragabani.
Good morning.
While we're waiting for the, oh, good morning. Good morning.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me today at your webinar, and it gives me great pleasure to be with you, Dr. Padmos, Diane, dear friends and colleagues. When we talk about the the healthcare sector or the relationship between the UAE and Canada, I wanted to shed some historical information, with you today to show you how back we go when it comes to our healthcare relationship. We have a doctor which became known in the UAE as Dr. Latifa, or who in Canada as Gertrude Dyke, is an example of the historic strong relations between the UAE and Canada in the healthcare sector. Dr. Dyke is a Canadian nurse from Saskatchewan who began working in the UAE healthcare sector before the UAE became a nation. That means before 1971. She dedicated 38 years to helping mothers give birth at Al-Waha Hospital, or as you all know it as the Oasis Hospital in Abu Dhabi, at a time when Emirati women were still dying in childbirth. It is estimated that she helped birth 90,000 babies, including many members of the ruling family, and shared a close relationship with our founder, the late Sheikh Zayed, God bless his soul. She became fluent in Arabic and was passionate about the local culture and became intertwined into the hearts of the Emirati people and was affectionately called Dr. Latifa and eventually referred to as a mother to our nation. She was so highly regarded that she received some of the UAE and Canada's highest rewards, including the Order of Canada and the Queen Elizabeth II Jubilee Medal. When she passed away in 2009, our ambassador went to attend her funeral as a sign of friendship and as a sign of the close relationship we had with Dr. Latifa. Another area which I believe is important to share with you is, during the COVID crisis which we are living through today, the UAE has around 60 medical doctors studying in Canada. Most, if not all, stayed in Canada and did not go back. And that was a decision that they made themselves. It wasn't a decision that they were forced to make, which shows how dedicated we are, and which shows that when it comes to healthcare, it's not whether you are on studying here or whether you are just passing by to get the Canadian board, but it shows dedication that we must all rise to our expectations because it's human lives that we all care about. So I just wanted to close with the importance of the relationship we have at the healthcare sector. Dr. Padmos and I, we had many discussions before, whether they were discussions to try and get more Emirati doctors into Canada, or whether to have more investment in the healthcare sector, whether in the UAE or in Canada, or how better could we further enhance the relationship we have on that front. So it is an area where I believe is under-leveraged on both sides. And I think it's an area where we really can do a lot together. And it's an area where I really look forward to working with you to achieve the goals of both our nations. So thank you again for having me today, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency. And I think without further ado, I'm going to turn to the address by His Excellency Fahad Al-Gergawi, who is the Chair of and CEO of Dubai Foreign Direct Investment. Excellency.
I'm sorry, His Excellency is not available at the moment. We'll go right to Saad Al-Awadi.
Yes.
All right.
And
yes.
One more thing too, there is a poll in progress. You can do it at your leisure. It would be very helpful for our panelists so that we have the information we need to answer your questions along the way. So that gives us some direction. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And let's go then to His Excellency Saeed Al-Awadi, the CEO of Dubai Exports.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Diana. Your Excellency Fahad Ragabani, thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak. Good morning in Canada, and welcome to this event today, where we shall be discussing the opportunities in Dubai's healthcare sector. I also hope to discuss how Dubai can be your gateway to the wider region and how businesses and investors worldwide can capitalize on the huge opportunities. I believe that any discussion on healthcare needs to start with the big elephant in the room, namely COVID-19 pandemic. What we do know is that COVID-19 is the biggest challenge the healthcare system had faced in living memory. Lessons must be learned from the experience, whether from the rapid progress achieved in digitizing and transferring service delivery, the extraordinary contribution of staff and volunteers, or from the ability to manufacture essential supplies domestically. There is now not only an imperative to restore service provision while remaining prepared for future waves of the virus, but to build on this learning to bring about positive change and renewal so that the healthcare system can support the greatest possible improvements in health and well-being for everyone, well beyond this crisis. On a personal level, I also believe that the healthcare sector now has a much wider scope than it has ever been. It now includes forecasters that can predict the rate of recovery, artificial intelligence to assist medical practitioners, virtual clinics, and so on. What is sure is that post-COVID healthcare will be different and therefore bringing greater opportunities for investors. The opportunity in healthcare are diverse, from the production of pharmaceuticals, medical equipment, furniture, ancillary items, clinic, to large-scale hospitals, and so on. The reason for this is the key drivers. First, the population of Dubai exceeds 3.35 million, and it is expected to reach between 5 to 5.73 by 2030. Increasing the demand for healthcare services. The population of Dubai is predominantly young and expatriate-based. Interestingly, the majority of whom are considered Generation X, born between 65 and 1980, and Generation Y, born in 81 to 2000. As of current population of the UAE, including Dubai, ages, there is likely to be sharp rise in healthcare demand, as approximately 80% of persons' healthcare requirement typically occurs after the age of 50 years. Further, the government has introduced compulsory health insurance in Dubai, which has significantly increased the demand for healthcare. Based on the current ratio of 1.48 beds per 1,000 population, Dubai will require additional 2,630 beds to around 3,770 beds by 2030. Reports from investment firms show that the healthcare sector in Dubai is profitable, whereby those that provide high quality service are efficient achieve 15 to 20% net profit margins. This rate is expected to remain for the foreseeable future and even increase slightly as medical tourism increases. The government of Dubai has recently taken several initiatives to establish and promote Dubai as a medical tourism hub. The Dubai Health Authority, DHA, estimates that 500,000 medical tourists will be treated in Dubai by 2021. The medical device market is expected to grow over the next decade as there is a move to produce locally and supply the wider region as well as re-export. The growth of the sector is driven by the country and the region's need to invest in new facilities as well as regularly replace equipment with new technology. As a result, there are considerable opportunities as the cutting-edge device market will also play a role in expanding the sector. This is more so the care when one considers that AI is gaining considerable traction and devices now need to be self-learning and some even carry out procedures independently. Furthermore, medical devices are no longer limited to hospitals, and with illness requiring long-term home care, this has grown to be an important market. At the same time, we should not overlook the fact that Dubai is the regional hub for the export of medical equipment. The pharmaceutical market has experienced growth as increasing demand has been accompanied by scientific advances leading to product innovation with newer and potentially more useful medicines. The UAE market for pharmaceutical is over 10 billion dirhams, with the majority, approximately 86% of the total being prescription medicine. The UAE is estimated to have imported around 16 billion dirhams worth of pharmaceutical last year. The major source of imports are Germany, USA, France, and Switzerland. Dubai also re-export pharmaceuticals valued at a little over 4 billion dirhams to the region market. Major export markets include the GCC countries, Levant, Central Asia, and Africa. Dubai is a key re-export center for much of the pharmaceuticals and are exported to Africa from the sub-Indian continent. In the post-COVID environment, regional markets are looking to Dubai to be their center of manufacturing of pharmaceuticals. This is significantly assisted by Dubai Science Park, which has several firms engaged in the manufacturing of generic medicines in the UAE. Local production of pharmaceuticals has also created a new niche area in the sector, such as halal pharmaceuticals. There are approximately 1.6 billion Muslims in the world, which is almost 1/4 of the world population. By increasing the Muslim population, the awareness of halal pharmaceutical has also been increased. Halal products are rapidly gaining worldwide recognition as a new benchmark for safety and quality assurance. Halal products are not only focused on food, but all the products, including pharmaceutical. Halal pharmaceutical are the drugs that contain permissible ingredients and are produced according to Islamic rule and conditions. Considering the religious preference of Muslim consumers, this is a segment that will surely increase, especially where non-prescription medicine is concerned. One should not forget that the healthcare sector is about people, and it is also includes training and upskilling both at an individual as well as organization. Therefore, capacity building, staff training, and organization benchmarking have become important aspect for all healthcare providers. With the advent of newer, improved, minimal invasive procedures and advancement in high-risk treatment, the demand for innovative pharmaceutical products has increased. This implies that medical practitioners need regular training, whilst the operators continuously need to know about the best practices. Healthcare is a dynamic industry with significant opportunities in firms looking to grow through Dubai. The recent experience shows that it has concerns, uncertainty, and complexity. However, there are also solutions for this. The modern healthcare sector is diverse, and this increased the opportunities in the sector. The post-COVID environment brings new challenges, but also leads us to believe that the opportunity is for near consumer production. Dubai is well placed and facilitating rules and regulations, a growing population in the country as well as within the region. Growth of medical tourism and niche areas such as halal pharmaceutical also. I strongly urge you to capitalize on the opportunities, and our team at Dubai Exports, along with our government partners, is ready to help you in any manner required. As I conclude, I would like to thank the organizers of this webinar and thank you for our audience for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Saeed, and thank you for those good remarks. We're now going to ask Al Hinton to speak on behalf of Dubai FDI.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it very much. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our healthcare webinar audience. Thank you for joining us today as we discuss the opportunities in Dubai's healthcare sector and how Canadian businesses and investors could benefit from them. The government of Dubai has, over the years, continued to focus on developing a robust healthcare delivery ecosystem, using demand analysis. The advantage of that has become clear this year when we were able to deliver an effective response to contain the spread of the virus, COVID, and also provide a robust business stimulus package. Dubai FDI is grateful to the Canadian Business Councils of Abu Dhabi and Dubai, the Canada UAE Business Council, the Canada Arab Business Council for helping us to facilitate this webinar series. To give you a comprehensive picture of the opportunities in Dubai's healthcare sector, representatives from Dubai Health Authority, Dubai Healthcare City, and Dubai Science Park will present to you the Dubai Advantage and the city's preparedness for inviting investments in the sector. Ladies and gentlemen, the UAE and Canada have a very strong bilateral trade partnership, which has grown to 1.7 billion Canadian dollars in 2019. This is a 2.5% increase over 2018. Our two countries also have a healthy bilateral investment relationship. Canadian FDI into Dubai has been more than $1 billion between 2015 and 2018. The UAE is Canada's top trading partner in the Middle East and North Africa, and it is also among Canada's largest investors. More than 200 nationalities and over 60% of Fortune 1000 companies have a presence in Dubai, and there's over 40,000 Canadians who have made the UAE their home, and over 150 Canadian companies being represented. The UAE has a strong global reputation of being a diverse, stable, and secure economy. We've continued to upgrade our global logistics connectivity and the ease of doing business using an effective digital transformation strategy that includes health IT. Dubai has emerged stronger during this tough period due to its focus on being a smart city. The digital transformation is being taken across all government and private sector services, positively impacting every aspect of life. Dubai is the city of the future, the gateway to the region, and a hub in the global economy. Ladies and gentlemen, in the healthcare sector, Dubai has leveraged its global location to focus on developing the medical tourism sector. The city has a high global ranking in the quality of the facilities and services it provides. This investment in the healthcare infrastructure has attracted more than 330,000 medical tourists in 2018, and we're on track to increase that to 500,000 by 2021. Our colleagues in the healthcare sector are also developing centers of excellence in specialization, such as cardiology, neurology, and rehabilitation, which continue to attract areas of potential investment. On the industrial side, production of generic pharmaceuticals and the manufacture, sale, and services of medical devices have emerged as subsectors with great potential. Canada and the UAE have a strong emerging partnership with the healthcare sector. In 2018, the Dubai Health Authority signed an MOU with Canadian Commercial Corporation to strengthen cooperation in healthcare. In the same year, the Hospital for Sick Kids in Toronto and Danat Al Amirat Hospital for Women and Children in Abu Dhabi began a clinical partnership to make available advanced pediatric care in the UAE. World-class healthcare is one of the top goals of the UAE's national agenda in line with Vision 2021. The Dubai Health Strategy 2021, announced by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and the ruler of Dubai, aims to develop a comprehensive and integrated health service system and encourages early detection and regular checkups. The UAE's healthcare market is developing rapidly. The country's health expenditure reached $13.7 billion in 2018 and is expected to grow to $18.3 billion by 2023. Healthcare spending is projected to account for 3.6% of the country's GDP by 2028. Healthcare is emerging as one of the most robust opportunities in Dubai, and I welcome you to become a partner in this growth story. As always, my team and I are always ready and available to assist you in any way possible and to help make you successful with your investment in Dubai. Thank you for your time and your attention. Back to our moderator.
Thank you, Al. And I think, Diana, will we run the video now?
It should be playing.
Ooh, that's an exciting video. Thank you very much. We now turn to our technical presentations, and the first from Dubai Health Authority is Khaloud Al Ali talking about the accelerators. Khaloud, you have the floor.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you today and give you a brief presentation about the Dubai Health Authority Accelerators Program. If we can, okay. So my name is Farouda Al-Ali and I am heading the Future Accelerators team at Dubai Health Authority. Let me give you a snapshot about what we do in the terms of this program. So we can move to the next slide. Okay, so as in Dubai Health Authority, we have the 2016 and 2021 DHA strategy. There are many pillars that we are focusing on in this strategy. One of the pillars is innovation and future. So now we will be, my presentation will be mainly focusing on the future and innovative initiatives that DHA is working on. And the first initiative will be the Dubai Future Accelerators. If I can move to the next slide. But before I start working, I start talking to you about the Future Accelerators program. It's good to start by a quote with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, the Prime Minister of the UAE and the ruler of Dubai. In one interview, he said that he wants his people to live. I cannot see it, the presentation, just a minute. He said he wants his people to live better, to go to high school now and get good healthcare now, not after 20 years. So hence we are focusing on improving the healthcare of people living in the UAE. So we can move to the next slide. What the program is, it is an initiative that was initiated by His Highness in Q4 of the year 2016. The aim of this program is to link government entities with cutting edge companies, that has innovative solutions in different fields. If I can move to the next slide. So in this program, we have entities from different fields in Dubai. We have RTA, which is Road and Transport Authority. We have DIWA, which is the Electricity Authority, and we have Dubai Health Authority, in addition to many other government entities. What happens is that each government entity set up a challenge that they want to work on. For example, in DHA, in last cohort, we had a challenge that focused on improving the healthcare delivery of services to the patients and reducing the errors that happens in surgeries, especially the orthopedic surgeries. So we worked with many companies. Some of them were like startups and some of them were big companies to give us solution on how can we improve this challenge. And some of the solutions can be even robotics, some of them are software, and then we work closely with this company. What happens is after we put the challenge on, many companies apply for the challenge, and then we have to interview the different companies that we get, and then decide which company we want to work with. Then we invite the companies to be here in Dubai. We pay for their tickets and for their accommodation. They stay with us for a period of 9 weeks. And then we start to link them with the right stakeholders in DHA to find the right solutions or how we can improve it. Then if there is a mutual understanding and their concept is really useful to DHA, then we do a POC or what we call a proof of concept to try the technology and see how valuable it will be to DHA. If we can move to the next slide. We have had so far 7 cohorts. I guess, Paul, you have put the old presentation. This is not the updated presentation that I have sent yesterday. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We were talking to Al, sorry.
Yeah, the presentation is like not the one I requested it to be uploaded yesterday. There is an update.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
There's updated information. Okay, thank you. Can you somehow just maybe update it verbally?
Yes, that's fine. So
Thank
far
you.
7 cohorts in this program, and we worked with around 65 companies from different parts of the world, including Canada, USA, Japan, China, and many other countries as well. And we have done around 7 proof of concepts with these companies, and we have upcoming proof of concepts and pilot projects in the plan. We can move to the second slide. Okay, and part of the initiatives that we worked on in this program was in the area of additive manufacturing. And I will share with you some of the success stories we had in the field of 3D printing. Can we move to the second slide? Dubai Health Authority have been is a part of the 3D printing initiative in the Emirate of Dubai. That was focusing in different areas in terms of construction, medical products, and consumer products. You can move to the second slide. And we focused on different areas in terms of providing the right regulations for using 3D and for having the right standards as well for using the 3D printed objects in the field of healthcare, in terms of prosthetic limbs, 3D printed teeth, and hearing aids. I'll share now with you in the next slide some success stories that we had. You can move to the other slide. Here is just pictures of the limbs that we had. This is one of the limbs that was printed for Dubai Health Authority that we had to exhibit in one of our conferences. We can move to the next slide. The next slide. Okay, so one of the first success stories that we had is that in Dubai Health Authority, we have printed a 3D prosthetic limb for a British resident that has lost her leg in an accident after horse racing. Belinda had lost her bones, and she was not able to operate the same way she used to do it before. And in UK only, they provided her with basic prosthetics that didn't make her feel the same way she was before. In the UAE, and Dubai Health Authority has printed a fully 3D printed prosthetic leg for her that she is using now for almost 2 years. And the other success story that we have in the next slide is for an Emirati champion. He is a wheelchair champion. His name is Fahad. He is an engineer in Diwa. He's 25 years old. He lost his legs in a motorbike accident. And with the DHA has partnered up with the City Hospital in Dubai, and they have printed 2 prosthetic 3D printed legs for him. Now Fahad feels that he is like he can move normally, like the way he used to do before, and he is comparing this prosthetic leg, I mean the 3D printed, with the initial one that he had before, and he noticed the huge differences in how he feels normally in comparison with the one he had earlier. We can move to the next slide.
Lud, we have about 2 minutes left for you.
Okay, and we also use the 3D models in the dental, in our dental services. We can now print molds using the 3D technology, 3D printed technology. Earlier, we used to print, each mold used to take around 2 to 3 days. Now we can print 53 molds per day. The next slide. Okay, you can move to the next slide. We have another initiative that we are working on, which is called the 10X initiative. This 10X initiative was initiated by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, and it motivates government entities to embrace disruptive innovation as fundamental mantra of their operation and try to seek ways to improve their existing methodologies. The next slide. We have a dedicated team in DHA that works after 10X it is fully dedicated for this initiative. The role of this team is to trial and scale and work with different partners from all over the world to find the solution that they can improve the current existing services in Dubai Health Authority. The next slide. And and not only that, DHA is also evaluating different opportunities for the private-public partnership in 2020-2024. We have different areas that we are proposing PPP projects on in terms of imaging diagnostic, in the field of dialysis, in the field of spine surgeries, diabetes, and long-term care for patients. So I have reached the end of my presentation, and I hope that I was like quick.
You were. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant, and sorry to compress you to such a few minutes. We're now going to turn to Marwan Janahi, who is the CEO and Managing Director for Dubai Science Park. Marwan.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and thank you everyone else who have organized this wonderful webinar. Good afternoon and good evening to all the attendees. I'd like to tell you today about Dubai Science Park and our story since our inception, and where we have reached and what are our aspirations moving forward. We'll start with a short video that will talk about our parent company and how we started this journey back in 1999 with Dubai Internet City, and then we moved on into other sectors. So I'll start my presentation with a short video, and then I will go more details about Dubai Science Park. Next slide.
فالإنترنت تغير وسائل الاتصالات التي نعرفها ومفاهيم الأسواق التي اعتدنا عليها. إننا نرى في هذه التطورات الجديدة فرصة لنعمل على تغيير مفهوم اقتصادنا خلال العقد المقبل. لذلك يسرني اليوم أن أعلن عن مشروع مدينة دبي للإنترنت، أول منطقة حرة في العالم للتجارة الإلكترونية. Well done to the Internet City team, and well done for all these companies who took that advantage. We all take risk, but do you know what is the biggest risk? We're not taking risk at all.
How do you change the course of history? Where do you even begin? 20 years ago, it all started with Dubai Internet City. We took a vision and brought it to life. Where there was only sand, we made way for possibility, bringing the world together to connect and create. TCOM Group set the foundation, creating business communities to fuel the success of our nation. We've built the region's largest tech hub to power innovation, shape the media industry's ideas into reality, and turn knowledge into a never-ending journey. We've given people a platform to share their stories, established a center for the globe to connect, and pushed growth and development to the front of the line. We've set the stage for the region's entertainment, developed scientific solutions for a new age, and transformed learners' passions into opportunities. We've been here for the eager entrepreneurs and homegrown startups, for design and creativity that knows no end. One vision brought Dubai to life, allowing talent and industries to thrive. We've built communities that nurture, connect, and inspire, that help businesses succeed. We've been part of life-changing achievements and memories that last forever. We've helped our city become a global hub for business, empowering people and their ambitions. Together, we've turned our knowledge economy into one of constant innovation. Together, we've made history.
in 2005, Dubai Science Park was just an idea that wanted to see the light. And we asked ourselves at that time, how can we build the region's first science-focused hub? What are the things that companies are looking for? And how is it that we can leapfrog and go into an industry which did not exist at that time? So today, I'm very happy to share that we have more than 350 companies. 60% of them are SMEs and smaller companies, and the others are large and mid-sized companies in different sectors of science, including health, energy and environment, and also food technology. The list of the companies really vary from medtech to pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, nutraceuticals, and also digital health. Next slide, please. So what we did is we said, okay, what do companies need to start their business? What does a scientist need? What does a researcher need? And we basically invested over $100 million into creating facilities that companies need, from a one-man show all the way to a manufacturing facility. So we're proud to say that we are able to cater to the needs of all sizes of companies in the different phases of their value chain. So other than assets, we also created relationships and events and connections. And this made us lead the, play a very strategic role with the Dubai government and lead the Dubai industrial strategy, which aims to position Dubai as a key industry player when it comes to pharma manufacturing. Moving on. What we did is we developed, after spending about a year with manufacturers and different term and long-term opportunities of the pharma sector, and we looked at the enablers that can make Dubai more competitive in that region. Next, please. During COVID, and still this is a role that we play very in a very big way, is that we were working with the different stakeholders, mainly the Dubai government, to provide a lot of assistance when it comes to testing. So one of the outsourced testing facilities of the Dubai Health Authority was at Dubai Science Park by a company called Agiomics. And there were other players like Illumina, Biorad, Thermo Fisher. Those are the companies that provided the PCRs and the equipment for all the testing required. And we had other companies that were involved in providing sanitizers, etc. Next. We also work with companies in investing and basically building the facilities that they need. So we provide a solution, a turnkey solution to companies to build their own facility, and they would go into a long-term agreement with us. And currently we have 3 projects that are ongoing, and they should be ready next year in 2021. And these are all 3 regional R&D centers. So we're very proud that these companies have chosen us to partner with us so that we build their R&D facilities. Moving on. We have one Canadian company that I'd like to highlight. It's called the United Safety. And of course, there is a lot of Canadian nationals that we have also that are part of our community. We have about 3,600 people that work in the Dubai Science Park community, and a good amount of them are Canadian. And I think for the Canadian companies who are listening today, there is a lot of opportunities when it comes to medical technologies, devices, digital health, and also biotechnology and pharmaceutical innovation that can be brought to Dubai for the wider region. Moving on. So I'd like to call on all the companies who are listening today whether you're small or large, to really look at Dubai as a unique business destination for your business. You can always share your ideas with us. We can connect you with some of the companies who are on the ground to sound your business and perhaps make a connection. Maybe there would be people who can give you advice. And then once you establish yourself and you think you have a great idea to launch, we're more than happy to provide you a launch pad for your business. So with that, I'd like to close my presentation, and I'm happy to take questions at the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Exciting opportunities and terrific assistance provided. I'll now turn to Fahad Sadiq, Director of Marketing and Communications for Dubai Healthcare City.
Thank you, Andrew. So I'm going to talk to you about Dubai Healthcare City, which is the other authority that exists in the city of Dubai with regards to medical licensing. Next, please. Essentially, next please. We are an ecosystem which houses medical facilities, education, research centers, and regulatory bodies and foundations that all work together in order to bring the best to the end user. Next, please. We are essentially a landmass that is located in the heart of the city of Dubai. Phase 1, as you can see over here, which is about 4 million square feet, is essentially been occupied, and hence there's a phase 2, which is 5 times bigger than that, and that's currently where we're working on. And wellness is something that's important focus for us moving forward. Next, please. So I think somebody spoke about ecosystem, and it's become a very, it's a buzzword everybody uses, but I would like to just demonstrate what we mean when we talk about the ecosystem. So we are very customer centric. And when I say customer, we are essentially talking about the end user. Next, please. We have assets, or we have partners that provide service to your everyday person. We're talking about going there for something as simple as a sprained ankle, all the way to heart surgery on a 700-gram newborn. And we understand that, and we understand the importance of delivering, if you want, messaging and having our business partners the stretch in order to be able to talk to their customers rather than a B2B scenario. So that's very important for us. And of course, next please, there are all the extra amenities that exist within the city, next please, that allow for our end users to come to avail services, whether they are coming locally or they're coming internationally. And what we provide and what happens in the background are these 4 different players. So one is the government, and essentially the government plays a huge role in terms of obviously going beyond regulatory services is the marketing support. So we do a lot of marketing for our players. We look at monthly products where we bring to life the different disciplines. We help our stakeholders in terms of their footfall. We understand that essentially the role that we play is creating the ability for businesses to thrive in terms of joining all together. We've got a referral system. And of course, there's the whole concept of co-investment and joint ventures. Then we got the institutions, and there's a number of them, universities where we work together in terms of the hospitals and the universities, and of course the private sector in terms of professorship, fellowship program, residency program. There's a consistent supply of new talent that can come through here. And at the same time, there's a lot of research work that's being done currently. Then we've got the foundations, and the foundations work hard in terms of creating access to philanthropy. They have the ability to subsidize patients. So a number of patients that come through Dubai Healthcare City that end up in those institutions, get their bills paid for because they can't afford it, for example. Or, for example, they come up with research grants because there's a lot of this kind of focus, as was mentioned earlier in the presentation, in terms of medical research and medical advancement. And then finally, of course, you talk about the investor, right? The investor has the ability to sit with us, to look at new policies. We are quite advanced, and we are quite, if you want, flexible in terms of looking at new areas, new policies. We look at research and education programs that can be done with the investors. And of course, end of the day, any investor or any tenant that comes and works with us has access to the whole community database. Next, please. All of this adds up to what we call an ecosystem. So you've got all the different players coming together to interlink in order for the benefit of the end user. And of course, if you want the economic outturn of the investor. Next. Next, please. Just to give you a bit of perspective so you understand what kind of figures we're looking at over here in terms of the size of DHCC. Next, please. And just to give you an understanding of the kind of players or providers that currently do exist in Dubai Healthcare City. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We're now going to move to our last technical presentation. Waleed Marhoon, Promotions Department Senior Manager at Dubai FDI. Waleed, and then we'll be open for questions. And I encourage our audience members to use the chat box for questions, and we will follow those very carefully. So over to you, Waleed.
Thank you, Andrew. Good morning, everyone in Canada. Good afternoon, my colleagues here in Dubai. It's given me a great pleasure to be part of this webinar today. So we'll talk about the Dubai advantage. Can you move to the next slide, please? Dubai has an economy diversity. As a contribution in 2019, the bunch of the contribution of total GDP of Dubai goes to the wholesale retail, as it shows on the screen, which contributed on 26.6%. Following after that, the storage and transportations and financial and so on. Next slide, please. Dubai has occupied a very unique and strategic locations. It's connect you with 2.4 billion consumer from 7 hours flight from east to west, where you can reach to the market in the Middle East and subcontinent and East Africa. With the connection of Dubai with the other parts of the world, taking an example of India that connect the airlines, the EK, Emirates Airlines and the Indian Airlines. It has 11,000 flights a week, which make the ease of the business between the two countries, and the businessman, they can fly in the morning, close the deal in each country and come back to their country again. Next slide, please. Talking again about the connectivity of Dubai, the numerous of international airline, which is operated directly from Dubai international airports, plus 8,000 weekly flights through Dubai international airports. And talking about our official national carrier, Emirates Airline, which has plus 165 direct flight from different cities on the world. Next slide, please. We are witnessing to host the Expo 2020 in Dubai, which has been postponed due to pandemic that's happened this year, and going to take place the 1st of October in 2021 till 31st of March 2022. It's first time happening on the region. The theme of the Expo is Connecting Mind, Creating Future. We are expected to have 25 million visitors. 70% of the visitor will be internationally. And the sub-themes is mobility and sustainability. Next slide, please. Next. The ranking of the year of 2019. Dubai has been ranked attractive city for FDI and Greenfield project according to FDI market. And Dubai is the busiest airport for the international passenger, ranked in 2019. As well, it's preferred destination for renewable energy. Next slide, next slide. Dubai Plan 2021 described the future of Dubai through holistic and complementary perspective. Those perspectives are divided into 6 perspectives, which is culture and entertainment place to live, transparent, tolerant, and preferred investment destinations, sustainable economy, and smart city. Next slide, please. In 2014, Dubai has a new initiative. Next slide, please. In 2014, Dubai launched the initiative of transferring all the transactions to be paperless by 2021, which impact on all the government entities has been switched to the applications and online service. Talking about the healthcare sector, 3D printing is one of the examples. Dubai Health Authority has been used, as my colleague Khulud from Dubai Health Authority mentions, in some of the complicated surgeries. As well, the medical record of all the patients, which they can get easy access to all their medical report through the applications. And also the telemedicine, where has been shown the big impact during the pandemics, and online consultation by the doctors and the patients. Next slide, please. Next slide. My colleague has been covered almost everything about the healthcare sectors here in Dubai. I'll just recap some points. That Dubai has mandated extensive healthcare insurance for all the resident here in Dubai. 19.48 billion, the target to be reached in this year, 2020. Next slide, please. In 2014, the government of Dubai has launched the new initiative as well, the medical tourist. It shows the number on the slides here, the growing of the medical tourists year by year, as it shows in 2018, 373 medical tourists who came to Dubai to take their treatment, and reported currently that roughly 50% of all health tourists arriving in Dubai seeking for the medical care. Next slide, please. The vision of the medical tourist strategy 2017-2021 is to position Dubai as a globally recognized target revenue, which will be 2.6 billion, as well to be Dubai recognized tourism destination, medical tourism destination. Next slide. This is the end of my presentation. I would like to conclude this presentation by thanking you, Andrew, thanking you, Your Excellency, Mr. Fahd Al-Ragbani, as well, Diana and her team in CBC. I'm looking forward for any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Waleed, and thank you all presenters. We now have some time, approximately 20 minutes, for questions and answers from the panelists and the visitors. So I'd encourage anyone online at this meeting to type their question in the chat box, and we'll read it and deal with it. In the meantime, I wonder if we could ask Diana to tell us a little bit about Canadian Business Council of Dubai activities, and how interested Canadian firms or institutions could connect with you about keeping up to date on opportunities and possibilities.
Thank you, Andrew. It would be my pleasure. As you know, we work together with our sister councils. We have the CBC Abu Dhabi, we have CABC, we have CUBC. And what we try to do is we help create and bond the trusted relationships you might need for working here. It's with our offshore companies, it's a lovely situation because you have someone here, right, obviously in Dubai, who can go out and be your voice or be your connection. It is actually a team effort, just like with the government of Dubai and the agencies here. It is a team effort. The outreach is quite valid. It is actually, we're really shortening the social distancing in a certain manner. So you're closer to Dubai than you think you are. Hope that helps. We can reach out to any one of you, and you can just drop us an email and we'll be more than happy to help you.
Thank you, Diana. I want to also comment on an organization that was briefly mentioned at the outset in my introduction. And we call it CAIHIA. It's, the name stands for the Canadian International Health and Education Association. And this started as a group of parties and people active mostly in the Gulf region, but some with links to other continents, working in health services, in health professionals, education and training, and in health systems. And frankly, we used to meet in departure lounges in places like Dubai and thought that wouldn't it be helpful if we pooled some of our thinking, some of our intelligence, our information, and our know-how in order to help each other approach markets such as those described today in Dubai. It's a small organization. It consists of currently about 30 members. Some are universities, medical faculties, nursing schools, community colleges, companies, associations, and some very small players, but also some very large players. And frankly, if you're already a Canadian institution or company with an international outreach activity, it would be very easy to establish connections in Dubai. If you're not already international, but you have a viable or exciting or developing potential in Canada, there's probably no market better for you to initiate your activities than Dubai and the UAE. As you can see, there's many resources, many considerations available for people, and many Canadian outfits that are already in this market. In fact, one of our advantages is that the Canadian brand is well known and well regarded. One of our disadvantages is that we don't know ourselves well enough. We don't keep each other informed, and we're not as good at helping each other find new markets, new connections, and new collaborations. But they are there, so let's see if we can take advantage of it using the services of the Canadian Business Council in Dubai and the Northern Emirates, the Canada UAE Business Council, the Canada Arab Business Council, and CAIHIA, and we'll be happy to let you know how to contact any and all of these individuals. So here we go.
Thank you. Very, very well said, Andrew. It is a really wonderful team working together for this reason. Thank you.
I can also say that our Global Affairs Trade Commissioner Service has been extraordinarily helpful, certainly to Royal College International. They are able to do research, to make connections, to set up meetings, to follow through things, and really have gone out of their way to assist. I think what we need to do is pool our resources, share our communications, and hopefully we'll prosper very quickly. Most of you should be thinking about the what was the UAE 2020 Dubai World's Fair. It'll take place in 2021, starting in October next year, and it is time to prepare for a presence there. The other opportunity is Arab Health, which takes place in the last week of January or the beginning of February. I believe this coming year it's the February 1 to 4. God willing, coronavirus won't keep people away at that time. We all may be vaccinated. Could be Russian vaccination, but hey, at least it would be something. And hopefully that is another opportunity for Canadians to get together, to plan, and to collaborate on how to address this market. Do I see someone saying the Arab Health dates have been changed. Maybe we could,
Yes.
you could update us. The last I saw was February 1 through February 4, 2021.
No, I saw the email yesterday. It's been moved to June 20, I think, or 21.
Okay. All right. Well, there's an update, but that gives us more time to prepare and more time to make things happen. So
Yeah.
we'll try to keep you posted on that. Any questions at this point? Let me then turn to Scott Jolliffe while we're asking. Scott, comments and any remarks you'd care to make at this time?
Well, thanks very much, Andrew, and thank you to all the presenters. I must say this has been a very interesting presentation of not only the exciting things that are being done in Dubai and the UAE, but the opportunities that exist for Canadian businesses and institutions to participate in those tremendous things. And so just a quick word, I'm the chair of the Canada Arab Business Council. And as many of you know, we're located in Canada, serving the interests of Canadian and Arab businesses, and in particular, I must say, UAE businesses in working together to enhance trade and investment between our great countries. And so I'll just say, as Diana has mentioned, we work very closely with the CBC Dubai. And Diana, what a great job you and your team have done here today. Also the CBC Abu Dhabi, another great business council with whom we work, and of course the Canada UAE Business Council. And I think we epitomize the strength of the relationship that exists between Canada and the UAE, whether it's in the healthcare sector or so many of the other sectors that we work in together. So very inspiring, and thank you all very much. I'll just turn it back over to you, Andrew, to close the webinar.
Thank you. Before we close, since we have a few minutes still remaining of the time, there is a good question here, which perhaps any one of us could take a shot at. It's, are there opportunities for short-term customized training, particularly in allied health, nursing, medical, cardiovascular, sonography, within the Dubai area and the Northern Emirates? And if so, what is the procurement process for interested institutions who want to offer these services? So I'll start by saying that I believe there are opportunities, because most countries in the Gulf, and I don't think the UAE is any question, have exceptional programming for training of medical personnel, and also for importing medical expertise into their institutions. If they have any particular challenges, it's in the other health professionals, nursing, pharmacy, dentistry, the technical specialties in radiology, in sonography, etc. Those are areas where it's more difficult to bring the expertise and to train up the existing talent. However, it's important to find a partner, and that could be a medical institution, and Dubai Health Authority would be one such institution that would help. It could be a university, such as the Mohammed bin Rashid University in Dubai Healthcare City. Or it could be a college and a training institution already in Dubai. And again, our CBC, our trade commissioners, would be a starting point to find out what those opportunities might appear to be. Any of our panelists care to answer or contribute to an answer for there?
I just want to maybe clarify or explain how health systems work in the UAE. Although we are a small country, but we have more than one health system. One that is for Dubai, and in Dubai there is also the Dubai Health Authority, Healthcare City Authority. And then you have a health system in Abu Dhabi known as Health Authority of Abu Dhabi. And then the third one is the one in the Northern Emirates that is controlled by the Ministry of Health. So there are three, separate, in a way, very siloed, but I think this is where we need collaborations and partners to make it work. But definitely, I think each health system has its own unique opportunities and challenges. And the best way, in my opinion, to look at what's happening is to look at their tenders. They're usually public tenders, and they post such requirements.
Okay, thank you for that. All right. So we have questions that are pertinent to individuals, such as contacts, and we can follow up on that, and we'll do so. So those of you who would like to get more information, you have our email address through stakeholders, through Canada Business Council for Dubai and the Northern Emirates. And I think that at this point, it's up to me to thank all of our special guests, our technical presentation presenters, and certainly everyone online for their interest in Dubai. I can promise you that Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and the Emirates are really, I think, an area of focus for any of the Canadian institutions, companies, associations who are interested in participating. And lots of us have a toe in the water, or maybe are up to our knees, and would be happy to help. So let's make sure that we work together to connect everybody, and hopefully we'll all enjoy the fruits of collaboration and partnership in days to come. So Al Hinton, thank you for your initiative in this and in the series that you're offering for Dubai foreign direct investment. And Diana, thank you for setting everything up for today. And our participants, thank you for joining us, and look forward to the next opportunity to be with you.
Andrew, I just have one comment. For those that have asked questions and did not receive an answer online or verbally from within the presentations, please feel free to contact me directly at that's al.hinton, HINTON, at fdi.dubai.gov.ae. And I'll do my best to help answer your questions. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, well, thank you everybody, and have a great evening, afternoon, and stay safe. And we hope to see you in person one day in the new normal, near normal, or almost normal life that we all aspire to return to. Thanks very much, and good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you for everything.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.